Shalom. First and foremost, before we get things started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishop of Great Millstone, teaching this truth and sincerity, and to the hopeful elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, and to the Akwatha that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Yashima of the GMS Memphis camp, coming to you today to land back off of the lesson me and Elder Nabal did on praying. And through the Spirit, when I got home, the Spirit had placed upon me to bring this up, say, on prayer positions, okay? And a lot of us are still, as you can see, going through the praying hands from the pagans' practices. You see, where it said the praying hands gestures, palms pressed together, come from ancient pagan and Eastern traditions. A lot of us are still doing those praying hands. These are what we was taught from our grandmothers and great grandmothers and stuff what to do in these Christian churches. But we're actually doing is practicing the righteous acts. Us who have, learned this truth, accept the truth, and also practice the righteous acts during our ceremony, okay? So, like I said, what made me decide to do this lesson was, like I said, when we did our lesson on praying, it had dawned on me. I was like, well, there's certain ways of praying, and I'm going to bring you the scriptures on some of those ways to pray. For instance, the first is the hands lifted up. And let's go to Psalm 63 and 4. This is Psalm 63 and 4. Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will what? Lift up my hands in thy name. And as you have seen in this picture, in the first one, that's what he's doing. He's standing and lifting up his hands toward the heavens and his face toward the heaven. Now, the Christians will tell you to do the praying hands and hold your head down toward the ground. You see what I mean? But no, the ancient ways, this is what we would do, okay? And also in the hands are lifting up, we will also do sometimes like we do when we're at camp, we do the standing. And let's go to 1 Kings 8 and 22. And this reads, and Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord Yahweh in the presence of all the congregation of Israel. And what? He spread forth his hands toward heaven. Okay? That's the one you see off to your right, where you stand and hold your hands toward the heavens, okay? And that's what we do out on the highways and byways also too, when we turn toward facing the east. We lift up our hands toward heaven, raising our hands toward heaven, lifting our face toward the heavens, and call Halayim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And now the kneeling, let's go to Daniel 6 and 10. And Daniel 6 and 10 read, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, okay, facing the east. And he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his power as he did aforetime, okay? And this is what Daniel would do every time he prayed 3 times a day. He would kneel and pray and lift his hands up unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I do that a lot myself too when I say, I get up in the morning, I either stand and face the east and pray toward Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, telling them to water for another day in the land of our captivity. And a lot of times I'll just say, things in Hebrew, giving him praises and honor in Hebrew. Okay. Now, a lot of us, when we pray in Hebrew because, Hebrew is the language of the heavens. That's what we're supposed to be doing as Israelites. All right. Even in our captivity, we're supposed to keep those same things going on throughout from generation to generation. And this last one, as you see right here, is the fallen prostate, which a lot of times I call this either the child's pose, or this is the pose I would do like when I'm in mourning or woe or mercy. You find that, let's go to Numbers 16 and 22. And it reads, Numbers 16 and 22, and they fell upon their faces and said, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the power of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? Let's read that in the NLT. Numbers 16 and 22. But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. Oh, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, they plead, you are the power who, what, gives breath to all creation. Must you be angry with all the people when only one man sins? And this is them crying out and pleading unto Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, in that position, as you see here. And like I said, a lot of times you have to plead unto the Lord from, the things that you've done wrong or the pain and suffering that you're going through. You plead and calling out unto him. Even a lot of times, say, you may have to use the kneeling and the falling position, to plead unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, to cry out unto him. Even we that are in this truth, we're crying and sighing every day unto him, saying, Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, how long are we going to deal with this? How long do we have to suffer this? It's like we're crying out to him. We ready to go home. But the water, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, for him humbling our spirit to wait upon him. We waiting upon him to do everything. But like I said, I just wanted to bring this out, to add on to Elder Nabal's lesson on praying, that this is the way that we should be practicing the righteous act of praying instead of leaning on to the pagan practices. We got to throw that away. So within clothing, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And to you all, I say, Shalom.